Instagram conversations. Guys, I hope that my connection stays fine with my previous guest. I hope that this time everything goes out well. Uh, as you all know, that for this session, I have a woman coming in. She's a renowned woman of our society, a known figure of our society, and I feel honored to have her come on board and talk about issues in our society, um, her own journey since she runs her own business, what kind of issues she's had. So, without any further delay, let me bring her on board and we can start from there. And how is everyone doing so far? Okay, let me just bring her on. So, today's topic is women empowerment, and we will be talking about that from our society's perspective. She is here. Let's bring her on. Let me connect with her as we are just connecting. Assalamu alaikum, Shireen auntie.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Mavish?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
All well, thank you.
Shireen auntie, although done a little bit of your introduction, but I didn't think I did much justice to it. It's just for my audience. Do an intro of yourself, please.
Yes, well, my name is Shireen, and I am uh, a businesswoman as well as an educationist and a lawyer. I teach law at a law college, and I'm also a pretty good cook. And I enjoy all the things that have to do with the home.
Right, guys, there she is. She's a
So
overall
that's
woman.
about
She's
it.
got it all. She's a lawyer. She runs her business. She loves to cook. What more can you want from a woman? So Shireen auntie, let's just start talking about a little bit about your educational journey.
Well, yes, I got married when I was 18. So I had not completed my education. I just done my FA. And the year that my daughter did her O levels, I did my BA. And after that, I joined a law college and I did my law degree. And after that, a few years later, I did a master's in political science. And in 2005, I joined the university sociology department and I've done my MPhil in sociology. I have not been able to complete my PhD because of various reasons. One of them being that I was traveling a lot because my daughter was, having children and I was spending time in America with her. So that was one of the reasons. But I would love to do it at some point if I ever get the chance.
Wow, wow. Shireen auntie, you just also mentioned that running a business. Let's start from there. What kind of struggles as a woman did you have in our society when you came into the business world?
Well, to tell you the truth, because I sort of was known as a cook and I had been doing small things prior to my business. So I didn't really face any problems. And as you know, the workforce is largely male. I have a restaurant and catering business. And so the workforce is largely male. And so I never really faced any problems. But that also has to do with the age that you start your, business at. If I had been starting this business at 18, it would have been different. But I was, into my 40s when the business was started. So you get less resistance from the people that are connected with your work field when you are a bit older. I mean, this is my experience.
Okay. So Shireen Auntie, I wanted you to, I think, just the way you did your into the audience, I think you are a substantial woman who said that she's a woman of empowerment. Through the life journey, how would you inspire women out there to take control over their life?
I need to say at this point that I was very lucky that my mother was a foreigner. My mother was Italian. Therefore, in our family, there has never been a gender issue. It didn't matter if you were a girl or if you were a boy. Nobody made any differences. So I think that gives you a bit of a head start because you've not grown up with a gender bias against you in your own family. Then, as I grew into my life and obviously became older, and also, of course, had my own children, and therefore, and because of what I had experienced in my home, there has never been a gender bias in my family. I have a daughter, I have a son, and no issue. I mean, it's not that my daughter was ever treated any less or given less of an opportunity to do something that she wanted to do. So I've never faced these issues. But of course, these issues exist in our society. And Mavish, I think these issues exist in all societies. Okay? There is a gender
True.
imbalance. Women are sort of looked upon as, second class citizens. But it's the world over. It's not just in Pakistan. The thing is that if you are
True.
lucky enough to be born in a, let's say, in a place where these things are not given importance, then it's your good luck. But as you know, I think 90% of the women, or maybe more of the women in our country, are not born with these kind of, you know, possibilities. They're not given this kind of possibilities. So it's, married as soon as you are ready to have children, and then you have 10 children, and that's it. You really have no say in the matter. You have no say in the things like how big or how small your family should be. You have no say. I think women really have very little say as far as their own lives are concerned, right? And as far as decisions are concerned relating to them, they have very little say in the matter in a lot of countries in the world. It's not just here.
Yes, most definitely. Uh, Before I was talking to you, I was having a conversation with someone, and she's from UK, and we were just discuss facts. So I was talking about, she was talking about UK, and she was saying that when you tell me, yes, I can see maybe your issues are slightly more on the higher side as women are concerned. This is a global issue. We suffer much being women even in the West. So everybody, people on your side of the world just don't really understand that they got their rights. It's not that easy for us. We struggle a lot, even being in West. And I got the same feedback from somebody in USA. Uh, there was a woman, and she said, right, still weapons of abuse, whether it's physical abuse, whether it's psychological abuse, and they are put down as much as they are on your side of the world. The only difference that they could really is maybe just the law over there is a bit more strict, so men can't really get away. They avoid it, but if the law wasn't there, it would have been as bad as it is on our side of the
You see, yes, that's absolutely true. The very sad and ironic thing is that all religions preach that all humans are born equal. All right. So there is no discrimination at time of birth. It is the society that you are brought up in that eventually leads to the shaping of your entire life, right? So if you are not given opportunities to study, to have any kind of activity outside of the home, you go from being a daughter to being a mother, and then that's it. And that's what the life is, and it's not easy, right? And
Right.
you will most often find that women who are abused, they're abused because the men in their lives are bullies and they are weak, and the only person that they can successfully hit out at is their wife or their mother or their sister. Okay, and this is not to exclude the older women from this circle, because it is the women who, in many cases, they condone this kind of behavior by their sons, because actually they've been through it themselves. So they see nothing wrong with it, you know. So what if he's given her a few slaps? So what if he's making her life tough? We've lived with it all our lives. We've compromised. We never said anything. So you see, there are quite a number of forces that work against the female child, okay, from birth. And right now, obviously, we are born into a socioeconomic society. Let's say it's like a bubble, right? Where we encourage and we don't mind having daughters, and if the sons are not born, it's not such a big, great issue. But these are big issues for girls who live in villages, who don't have opportunities to have uh, any uh, any kind of contact with really what is the outside world. So in many cases they don't know any better, because they are never allowed to acquire any kind of knowledge, even general knowledge, even common sense. They just keep on perpetuating exactly what has been happening before, because they don't know any better, you see.
Definitely, definitely, I totally agree with that. I call it a generational curse, where you are basically not allowed to question that why am I doing this and why does it feel wrong. You don't even question that because you condition that this because that picture is in front of you, so you just think this is my conditioning, this is how I'm going to go out.
Yes.
And I see that, like you said yourself, that most of the issues in our society are because a, we live in a bubble, we don't want that bubble to burst. B, we we know that there are issues and we can talk about them all day, but why aren't we coming on board for solutions? Why aren't we coming on board and seeing how we can, as a society, together stand against these cultural norms which have penetrated into our society, and even it's got nothing to do with our religion for that matter.
Yes, but you know that जो मिट्टी होती है ना, वो आपका कल्चर डिक्टेट करता है. आपकी जो मिट्टी होती है, so the land you live on is the land that dictates your culture, right? It dictates a lot of
Right,
things that
bilkul
are
sahi.
going on in your life, right? So the religion has given, Islam has given, and it has allowed them to actually be their own people, right? Their own person. But the society does not allow that.